Triple three was probably the event that I was the most concerned with going into regionals. I had tested all of the workouts, and that was the one that I had scored the most poorly on. I finished it in training in 40:50. So it was, man, in 2014 when I competed at the CrossFit Games and we did the triple three, I finished in 34 minutes. So to finish 7 minutes slower was not a good feeling. And I took a little bit of time to dial in my paces, really get comfortable on the assault runner, and that ended up making a big difference on competition day. Rather than finishing in 40:50, I finished in 38:30, something like that. So cut a whole 2.5 minutes off of my training time. So that was a really good way to start the weekend off on a good foot. Having performed well on event 1, going into event 2, I felt pretty good. I thought that was gonna be a really good workout for me. Linda, I practiced that in a good training time, at least relative to my training partner. Travis and I did it together and I was able to beat him. That's not always the best gauge, just because sometimes your training partner may have one strength and the field may have another. So I finished that actually with a little PR as well. I think I'd done it in 15 minutes in training and did it in 14:40 on game day. It was almost a perfect execution. There was one moment in the middle of it that threw me off my pace a little bit. I failed my 6th rep on that set, and the judge had to step in and kind of help pick the bar up off my chest. That made me a little cautious going into the rest of the bench sets for the remainder of the workout. And I think that probably just kind of killed my cadence, and I could have maybe finished low 14s, which would have been another top 10 finish versus the 11th that I took. So I wrapped up day 1 with a 7th and an 11th place for 9th overall. In the past, that would have really bothered me. That would have been, it would have put me into a funk, and that's something that I don't deal well with during a competition. I like to ride the waves of doing well and being on a high, and when the big waves of negativity come up, it's kind of hard to fend them off. For some reason this weekend, I was able to kind of adapt, or it wasn't even an adaptation, it was just processing it differently. Rather than being upset being in 9th, I was kind of excited by the challenge of it, to deal with a little adversity and have the opportunity to overcome that on the next 2 days. And I was looking forward to the first workout of the next day, so I was in pretty high spirits after day 1, even though I was sitting in 9th place.